Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I am your girl, Candy Washington, and today we are going to dive into the latest pop culture scandal with Miss Britney Spears. But before we dive in, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. And also be sure to share this with a friend because a key is always better with community. And don't forget to check out the super thanks and also everything in the description box below. We have tons of goodies down there, so be sure to check that out before we wrap things up. So with that, let's dive right on in. So Miss Spears. We all know that Britney has been kind of coming under fire in the last couple of days and weeks with, the whole Kevin Federline thing. He's coming out being like she's a bad mom. The sons are coming out being like, you're not the mom I expected. You're not the mom I wanted. And I'll say a couple of things about this and then we'll flow into the body shaming issue. One, K-Fed, why now? Why are you speaking up now? You've had, custody of the kids for the last 15 years or however long you've had them for, I think about 15 years now. Why are you speaking up now? Is it because child support is about to end soon? The boys are reaching about that 18-year age. I believe they're all teenagers now. Are you trying to set something up so you can get lifetime support? I don't know. Are you doing this because you are an op for the people who used to be her conservators, like her dad and her manager? Maybe you're doing it because you're on their side and you want to get a case against her to get her back in the conservatorship so you guys could get back access to her money. I don't know. K-Fed missed me with all this. Like, stop. The children speaking out, again, I'm never going to talk about anybody's children. I think that K-Fed might be weaponizing the children. I actually agreed a lot with what Britney said. She's like, listen, if you don't, I know that you're a child and when you get older, you'll understand what I went through with your grandparents, putting me with conservatorship. Every aspect of my life was micromanaged. I wasn't able to evolve and mature as a person. So how am I able to evolve and mature as a mom? And again, I'm not a doctor, not going to diagnose people, but, they're saying that there might be some, mental health issues going on with Britney. And I get it. I get it to be a child and have a parent who is not mentally well, how that can really affect them, how that can make them resentful, how that can make them feel like life isn't fair, they're dealt a bad hand, that their parent is not able to be, the parent that they needed because of their own mental health issues, So I get that part of it, but I don't think it's fair for K-Fed or Britney to really, speak publicly and weaponize the children. Of course, Britney had to clap back publicly because K-Fed and the sons clapped at her publicly. But still, you could just say, hey, everyone, I'm handling this privately with my children without a whole statement about, I'm the mom and this happened and you're the child and and K-Fed hasn't worked in 15 years. Like, we all know that. I just think the way I would have handled it, since they came at me publicly, I would have said, I'm going to handle this matter with my children privately. Please respect our privacy. And then in private, I would have handled it with my children. But that's just me. Okay, that's that. When it comes to Britney Spears' conservatorship, do I think the conservatorship should have ended? No. I think that this conservatorship should have changed hands. And this is just my opinion. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing anybody. But hypothetically, if someone who was behaving erratically, posting nude photos, nude videos, just looking unhealthy, looking unkept, looking unwell, being erratic, being, confrontational, just appearing to be struggling with their mental health, I don't think that necessarily their conservatorship should end, but I do think it should change hands because it does seem as though the mom and the father and the managers and Kevin Federline were not acting in Britney's best interest. They were basically using her as their own personal piggy bank, their own personal, checking and savings account. They kept her sort of controlled and locked down and basically being their show pony. She was a show pony. She was a work pony, show pony. They would let her go out and do what she had to do, work her to death, and then cipher her money. And to me, that was coercive. That was control. That was manipulation. That to me was 100% wrong. But I also am fearful of the mental state, the mental health of someone. You see what I'm saying? So I think that they should have changed hands. I think the conservatorship should have went to a third party, someone who was not connected to her ex-husband, someone who was not connected to her father or her lawyers or her manager, an actual third party who had no skin in the game. If they, buddied up to the father and the managers like that, they wouldn't get a kickback or anything like that. Like a true third party whose true interest was the well-being of Britney. Their true interest was conserving, her empire, her money that she made, and then also looking out for her health, making sure she's getting the correct mental health and medication, not just the medication that's going to zonk you out so we can use you and you're so zonked out you don't have the capacity to be your own person. What's the right mental health and medication and therapy regimen for this person? And then how do we also protect her money while also giving her the freedom to use and spend her money accordingly, right? So I don't think the conservatorship should have ended. I think it should have switched hands out of the people who were using and exploiting her and into someone's hands who actually had her best interest in mind. Now let's segue into the whole body shaming, which is why I'm concerned about the mental health and I'm concerned about the conservatorship and all of that stuff. So Britney posted this on her social. She said, "I found there was only one way to look thin, hang out with fat people. That is not only offensive." And then in the caption, she goes on to talk about Christina Aguilera and, her dancers. And regardless of the Christina Aguilera and dancers thing, which in and of itself is horrible and really bad, this statement is just blatantly disrespectful and body shaming and fat shaming to everybody collectively. There's only one way to look thin, hang out with fat people. Rodney Dangerfield, like, come on, Britney, come on. That is just offensive across the board. I mean, even her own Brit fans, I don't know what they're called, but even they were like, girl, this is too much. You need to take that down. You're going overboard, this, that, and the third. And then in the caption, she goes on to talk about, had Christina Aguilera dancers, I would look thin, blah, 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 blah. Because as we know now, Christina Aguilera has, as normal, completely normal, healthy people do, your body changes and evolves. She has a healthy body for herself at this particular time in her life. And then she's having dancers that reflect that the way a lot of artists and creative people do. They have dancers who reflect themselves. Look at Lizzo, look at J-Lo, look at Beyonce. So it's crazy that Britney, who doesn't even want to tour anymore, who just came out with some new music with like Elton John, but she doesn't even want to go on stage and tour anymore, has all this smoke for Christina Aguilera, who is confident enough to be who she is, to own her own body, to be on stage, to continue to make music, to continue to entertain, and then give opportunity to other people who may not have had that opportunity in the past. It used to be that whole super thin, emaciated look, you know what I mean, that people used to have back in the day. And again, that is no disrespect to people who are naturally thin. It's all body. To me, body image is all about what is the highest, healthiest expression of my body. Maybe that is being thin. Maybe it's being really muscular. Maybe it's being, I don't know what the correct term is. Maybe it's having like a larger body, a larger body, right? And by larger, I don't mean any disrespect, maybe it is having more curves. Maybe it is having, that situation. To me, healthy body and healthy body image is just honoring every body as it is, if it's in its healthiest expression of itself. Just because your body is thin doesn't mean you're healthy. And just because your body is bigger doesn't mean that you're unhealthy. What is the highest, healthiest expression of what your body authentically is? To me, that's what it's about. And that can change. You know, when we're 12 and running around, our body may look one way. When we hit 45 or whatever it is, our body may look another way. Our bodies are supposed to change. They're supposed to grow and stretch and contort. Like, that's what our body is supposed to do. So Britney missed me with all this BS and these, that wasn't even a subliminal diss. That was a straight up, oh, you're fat and your dancers are fat. That was a straight up shots fired, right? Like, to me, I honestly just don't get it. It's alarming. It's disheartening. It's bizarre. I don't know why Britney's coming for Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera is literally just over there minding her own business. I'm confused. But again, I really chalk it up to some of the mental health issues that Britney Spears may or may not have. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing her. But just stuff like this, it's just bizarre. And then Christina Aguilera, of course, then went and unfollowed Britney, because why would you want to follow someone who is calling you fat and is shaming your dancers? But I want to know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. Do you think that Britney is still spiraling and that her conservatorship maybe should have changed hands instead of actually ending? Or do you think, no, let Britney be Britney, let her talk, let her do her thing? Do you think this was body shaming or not? Or do you think she was just talking? Would you have been offended? What are your thoughts? What do you think about Christina Aguilera and everything else? But of course, you guys, before you do that, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, don't forget to share this, because the key is always better with community. And check out the description box below, because we have tons of goodies down there. And hit that super thanks if you feel so inclined. And with that, you guys, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!